We're back at the International Cannabis Business Conference, and joining me here at the desk we have John W. Lee. He is the director of MCLR 2016 and the Americans for Policy Reform. So, all right, we're talking about legalization. Let's get into this. MCLR 2016. Everybody's looking at California for 2016. What's your plan?
Well, thank you, Russ. Thanks. Good to see you again. For several years, as most people know, MCLR worked towards trying to get qualified for the ballot for 2014. Through multiple efforts, unfortunately, we failed to get on the ballot for this year. So as everybody's coming together, we've continued to keep the options open for MCLR. And in our travels throughout the state and remaining quiet since the end of the qualification period for 14, we got a lot of input from the community. If you know about MCLR, it was a community-based grassroots effort. It was the first of its kind that went all the way to qualifying for, or at least filing, getting a title summary from the Attorney General. It was recognized as one of the best pieces of legislation for marijuana legislation at the time. And so through a lot of efforts throughout the state, people communicating, attending a lot of these functions, you see that most people are still in a quandary about what the language will be ultimately. Mm-hmm. So our interest at this point, through a lot of discussion from people and support from people throughout the state, they've been wondering what MCLR has been doing, whether or not we were going to at least provide our services to the community. And as of this week, we are going to be making those decisions. And I'm actually here with you today to announce that we are opening up the language for MCLR.
Excellent.
MCLR, again, a grassroots effort to provide language and input from everybody in the community throughout the state. Again, we have a tremendous support from the people, obviously, at this function, but also throughout the state to do something to combine groups to create a common language, and we're opening that up very shortly to do that. In fact, it is available now. You can see it as a bit.ly link on the HTTP format, bit.ly/MCLR2016. You can go to that link and you'll be able to see the current language, and that situation again will be open for people to contribute to, as we did for the last year. So we're pleased to announce that as an effort of cooperation from all organizations with our community, and part of the message that you're hearing at this particular event is just that. Let's try to find some common ground, common language, and fortunately we've done most of the hard work already, so we feel MCLR's language certainly is leading the pack, or at least finds the baseline for everybody to work from. And so once again, we're announcing that now, that the language is open for input.
Check it out at bit.ly/MCLR2016 for the MCLR 2016 language input. And, you know, John, California is a huge and diverse state. I'm trying to find out the input from all these disparate groups. I'm sure you find growers in Northern California who have one set of ideas. People in the Inland Empire might be a little more conservative on things. Younger voters want something that's more idealistic. What have you heard from people around California about what they want to see in legalization?
Well, fortunately, that was the basis for what MCLR did originally. We solicited input from all different parts of the community, including our opposition. So as you see the various pieces of MCLR come together, we are addressing those things, whether it's an age limitation, whether it's a licensing, taxation, and revenues. These are things that we know are going to be part of the legislation for 16. We vetted most of the language over the last year and a half or a couple of years, and again, most everybody's aware of it. So fortunately, right now we have an all-encompassing document. And as we move forward to finalize language with all the groups that we're speaking about, we expect that we'll follow a model similar to what we've done. It'll be inclusive. It will provide input from everybody in the community so that we don't miss anything. And at the tail end, of course, we'll make sure that it's legally and legislatively viable.
Fantastic. John Lee is with Americans for Policy Reform, and your email, john@afpr.us, if you want to get in touch with them, and check out the bit.ly link, bit.ly/MCLR2016, so that your voice can be heard. And moving forward with this, is this just for gathering information and input to create some language? Is this also a fundraising thing, a political action? Tell us more.
Thank you. Actually, this is our initial phase. We'll make some initial announcements right now, but it was pertinent that we got the opportunity for the language at this point. We'll make further decisions as we move along, but again, our interest is to make the right decisions for the community and bringing everybody together, bring the proper language that will obviously attract the appropriate investors as well, too. So look for further announcements from us down the road, but at this point, we want to make sure that the language is available and people throughout California can start to contribute to the solutions.
All right, let's all get involved. Let the folks here at AFPR know what you're interested in. bit.ly/MCLR2016. John W. Lee is the Director of Americans for Policy Reform. Thanks for joining us here at the desk.
Russ, thank you very much.